we're literally back to the garden. And really for us, this is,
we got a few more minutes.
As married couples, this is one thing that we have to learn how to protect, we learn have to
how do we
cultivate.
So let's talk about a little bit before we close out today.
Okay.
How do we protect our garden? How do you propose that we protect our garden? And this is not just for married people.
No.
This is for single people too, because you got a garden too.
And when we talk about your garden, we are talking about your gifts, your talents. We are talking about your God-given purpose. This is what consists of your garden.
We're talking about your kids.
Yes.
Your spouses. Your garden.
Because the thing is, you have to learn how to grow. You have to learn how to till your garden. You have to learn how to cover your garden properly in order for you to be able to see fruit come from it.
So how do you propose they learn how to cover their garden effectively? Come on now. Prayer.
You have to learn how to listen to,
hey Mickey,
God-given truth.
And sometimes God-given truth is not always hard to hear sometimes, because it'll step on your toes. It's going to stretch you.
That's what it's meant to do.
Sometimes God-given truth will make you mad because you don't want to change from your fleshly ways. So you protect your garden by spending time in His presence, by praying, by seeking His face and seeking His instruction. He'll teach you how to cover, protect, till, grow, and when it's all said and done, you will be elated with the results from your garden. Because I don't know no
we haven't
gardener.
talked about that all evening. when you do all of the things you're supposed to, and the results of the matter, because that's the reward that we get to, and that's what people don't understand.
That's the results.
Yes.
So sometimes you have to endure to get to long suffering. The Bible talks about that. That's one of the fruits of the Spirit. So sometimes we have to learn how to endure, because we think it's all supposed to just be easy. But in order for us to grow, in order for the Lord to stretch us, it wasn't easy for Jesus. He didn't just get down here and, have everything He wanted, and it was just all hunky-dory. It wasn't like that. He came bearing fruit. He came working. He came tilling. He came sowing. And when He saw what was there, once He sowed in His seeds and He reaped the benefits was those crowds that followed, the people He saved, the lives that were changed. Those were that was what the garden that He received. So in order for us to receive that, we have to know that it's not gonna always be as easy as you think it should be. Sometimes it's a hard pill to swallow. Sometimes that mug is like, if y'all ever seen a potassium pill, those things are huge, y'all. They hard to swallow because they so big. But sometimes that's the pill we gotta swallow. Sometimes it's a difficult task to take on everything that the Lord allows us to see and still protect our garden and still love from the inside out. Sometimes that's it. But that's our goal, y'all. That's our goal. Our goal is to protect our garden, loving the whole way through, and being careful with how we deal with things. Okay?
I think last week you addressed once you got all the parasites and everything out of the way, and you finally got your garden to be the way it needed to be, then you were able to reap a fruitful garden. And I think this is a part of what you're saying, to do all of the things that we're supposed to do, but to be able to reap it like it's supposed to be reaped at the end of the fight.
At the end of the harvest. You want some harvest, baby. At the end of the harvest, you want some harvest. Now, like I told you guys last week, how I gave all these different scenarios, or how the different many times I was planting and trying to grow my garden. But each year I had to learn a different lesson. That was not easy. Not only I was putting in time, I was putting in money, I was putting in energy, all of this, and each time I felt like I was coming with nothing, because the weather might have took it away, or the animals ate it, or the pestilence took it, or it wasn't covered, and I had to start all over, because stuff comes when you ain't covered, when your garden ain't covered. Animals like your stuff, okay? Animals like fruits and vegetables out of the ground. They like them just like that. You ain't even gotta wash them for them. See, we trying to let it all grow and get all ripe and stuff. Some of them animals like it when they this big, when it's just now budding, and that's how the enemy is. When you just now budding, he want to come and go ahead and shut you down before you grow too big, okay? And I'm saying grow too big in the Lord. Grow too big in your spiritual growth. Yeah. Grow too big in your thought processes, where the Spirit of the Lord is concerned. So, I learned, but it took some time. And do I feel like I'm all the way where I need to be? Absolutely not. I'm still learning. Now I'm learning now I'm learning how to make sure I sow in the right season. Because sowing in the right season is imperative. If you sow in a season where it's supposed to be hot, but you sow on a cool vegetable, it's going to fry. It's going to die. If you sow on a cool vegetable in the summertime, it's going to die. If you sow a seed that's supposed to grow in the heat in the winter, you ain't going to get nothing. Ain't nothing going to produce. You won't see nothing. You probably will be like, dang, where I put that seed at? So now, as for me, I'm learning how to sow in proper seasons at the right time so I can get the harvest desired.
That's where wisdom comes into our life.
Wisdom. Now I know how to protect it from the bugs and the pestilence and the animals and all of that stuff. Now I'm learning how to sow in the proper season.
So really, to go back to be able to listen to truth stretches you.
Did you read what he said?
Mm-hmm.
We love you too, Mickey, and I will pray for your family. Go ahead. What, Phil?
Truth is meant to stretch us.
Yes, it is.
It's meant to stretch us spiritually. It's meant to stretch us mentally, and in some cases, it's even meant to stretch us physically.
Come on. I was gonna run for Jesus if we can't run. Lord help me, Jesus. I'm working on it. Have a day.
And one thing, because the thing is, sometimes in life, especially when we've been taught a certain way, we don't understand a lot of the things that we've actually taken on and what we've considered as truth in our lives. When what we've considered as truth for so many years has been nothing but a lie.
Wow.
That we've held on to thinking that it's truth.
But had we been talking to the Father the way we were supposed to, or learning and understanding how to be at the feet of the Lord, accepting instructions, we might not would have took that word as solid truth and nothing else. But when you're growing and learning, sometimes it takes us to become adults. It takes us to become wiser. It takes us to be separated out from what we once thought was good to now God showing us what's good.
And in the process, do not...
We got 4 minutes.
And in the process of doing this, as you are learning, as you are stretching, as you are growing, and you start to see that these things that you've actually taken on are not real. One of the most important things that you can do is not to get mad at yourself, not to get mad at the people that have taught you this, but learn to forgive.
Learn to forgive.
Forgive yourself and forgive those people. That way you can truly learn
how to
walk in love.
Loving from the inside out. Y'all, that sound like that's an easy thing to do.
But it's a continual process.
It is a continual process. Learning how to love yourself. Because if you don't love you, you can't love nobody else. That's
Really just think about it. If Jesus didn't love the creation of the world, he would have just stayed in heaven where he was. He wouldn't have done nothing of what he did to walk this earth, to carry out his ministry, to be crucified, and to catch this here, plant seeds in the disciples that would germinate and that will grow and be able to see those things bear fruit after he left.
So my question now is, do you know if you're loving from the inside out or the outside in? Let's take this moment and just think. The people that I love, the people that have hurt me, have I forgiven them? Do I love them the way that God loves me in spite of? Because there's some things God could have thrown us all away for. But his love is his love covers a multitude of sins. And I'm thankful for the love of Jesus. I'm thankful for the blood